All right, first grade, good morning. I hope you are having a great day so far. This afternoon in math class, we are going to be taking our first math test or first math assessment. We have made it halfway through the first module. Can you believe it? I know, and you're doing such a great job. So today, this afternoon, will be your chance to show what you know and show all that you've learned in this first half of Module 1. So we'll do that live on the call, so you don't have to worry about that, and I'll let you know what paper to bring and all of that. But I just wanted to get my trusty easel whiteboard out and spend just a couple of minutes reviewing some of the major things that we talked about during this first part of the first module. So we spent a lot of time talking about numbers and number partners, right? So does everybody remember what is this called? We have seen this a whole bunch in this first module, right? That's right, it is a number bond, and it helps us to show different ways of making a number. So in this top big box, and sometimes we see number bonds written like this, where the larger box is to the side. Sometimes it is written in circles. You see number bonds that look like this. The important part to remember is this part, that the circle or the square that's always by itself with the two coming off of it, that part always shows us which part of this whole number thing. Do you remember? Yeah, it's the whole. So say, for example, we have a picture that looks like this. So all together, if you use your dot pattern and what you know about dot patterns, we see that there are 5 on the top, 7 on the bottom. I know that 5 and 2 make 7. So I can take this picture and put it into a number bond. So what would go in the top square? Yes, the total, the whole. So 7. And then what would go in these boxes? Yeah, we could split it up a whole bunch of different ways. We could have 0 and 7. We could have 1 and 6. We could have 2 and, that's right, 5. For this picture, we can show 5 and 2. That would be a way of showing 7. So we worked on that with the numbers 8, the numbers 9. We also talked about partners of 10. That's a really important part of our numbers because our number systems it's all based on tens, groups of tens. So when you know your partners of 10, that's really helpful. Okay, so we did our number bonds. Then we also talked about using a number bond and being able to show that number bond as an addition equation or number sentence. So let's say, for example, our whole is 8, and then let's think about it. What if one of the parts is 6? What would the other part be? You're right, 2. And we learned how to figure this out. If you weren't sure, you could count on, right? And we have our handy dandy counting sticks to help us. You could say, okay, 6, 7, 8. And I would know that I've counted on 2. So that would be the other part. We can write this as an addition equation, right? Anybody remember how to do that? That's right. We can write 6 plus 2 equals 8. And then we also can write, ready, remember this one? 8 equals 6 plus 2. Do you remember that, right? At first we thought, oh, it looks like the equal sign is backwards. That's not how we're used to seeing it. But it really just means, the equal sign means that whatever is on one side is equal to or the same amount as what's on the other. So we solved some problems like this. We also learned how to solve change unknown problems. So do you remember those? Those can sometimes be tricky. That could be something like, Mrs. Norris had 6 books, then she went to the library and borrowed some more books, and now she has 9 books, right? We don't know how many more I got at the library, and that's what we want to solve. So let's see if we can figure that out together. Those are change unknown problems. Whoops, should have locked the wheels. So if I had 6, I went to the library, I got some more, we don't know how many, and then I ended up with 9. I know that 9 is the whole. So if I wanted to use a number bond, I could put 9 in the whole, and then the part that we know is the 6 that I started with. So now we need to figure out what is the other part. We could also use an equation. So looking at something like this, right? And I remember that we could use our counting sticks. I liked using my counting sticks to count on. We could say to ourselves, okay, 6, 7, 8, 9. And how many did I have to count on? You got it, 3. So that is our missing part. Okay, so we spent a lot of time working on that. And then the second half, in the last couple of weeks, we've been spending a lot of time really learning and working on our facts and just finding different strategies, like our counting sticks, like just knowing it in our head, like using the dot pictures to help us count on, finding strategies that work for us, okay? So we did that, and then we also learned about solving true equations. So if I had something like this, we were figuring out ways to find, or we were figuring out what would fit in this space here so that this whole equation was true. So remember, the equal sign just means whatever's on one side is equal to what's on the other. So this together, I know 5 and 2 equals 7. So I need to get this side to also equal 7. So I would think to myself, okay, 6, 7, right? Count on with my counting stick, and I know that if I put a 1 here, this side would also equal 7. Okay? All right, and then a couple of last things we talked about were facts like this. Anybody remember what kind of fact that is? Yeah, that's right, doubles facts. And doubles facts we can use to help us because sometimes they're just facts that some people find easier to remember. 2 plus 2 is 4. 3 plus 3 is 6. 4 plus 4 is 8. And we know that the answer is always an even number. And we also learned about problems like this. 3 plus 4, right? It's a doubles plus 1, right? It's a double fact, but just one more. So if we know the answer to the doubles fact, we can figure out that the answer to this would be just one more. That's right, you got it. We also looked at the addition charts where we found patterns, and then we looked at coming up with related addition facts using the ladder and using one problem to help us solve another. All right, so this first half was all about addition, how to break apart numbers, how to show them in a number bond, and that's what we'll work on for our mid-module. So I hope this review was helpful, and go ahead and spend some time on Zearn just to, practice, refresh your memory a little bit, and I know you're going to do great. All right, I'll see you soon.